Welcome back to Jim Bob's Gym Blog. This is story time number 5. We continue our Skyward North America story in progress. Let's see. I met Pennywise again. Technically, he was roaming around PixArk in the land days at the end of that story with the tiny alpha. He wasn't one of the people messing with her, but he was solo in the server for a bit before it died. And so I guess Penny was the survivor tribe on Sky One, and I got gifted a low mutation, but better than nothing, and it might have been mixed up mutation Rex, and I just made the mutations worse. But it was enough to be able to do the bosses, or at least start to do the bosses, to earn tech with the Tech Rex, to beat the Tech Rex at least. They were enough to beat the Tech Rex. You gotta start somewhere. And so after getting tech, it was easy enough with just half decent Rexes, because the Tech Rex boss tends to give it to you sometimes. The problem was the other bosses for the challenge gate. They were not so doable. Then again, I mean, the spaceship is pretty mean in itself, but once you have the jetpack, I would start cheesing the spaceship with magic to get the helmet. We would just kill the first 3 bosses by flying with tech and using magic to cast down on it because we were so poor. But that would, get you your visor and most of the things except for the final BPs on the final boss, and that's because he puts his minions out, and so you can't be messing around. So I was told the solution for the challenge gate bosses and everything was real good bone Rexes. And the Chinese tech Bob who picked on everybody, he gave me some 120 bone Rex, to which I think I put some levels on it before cloning it. The cloning was really expensive. And so, I made sure not to let them level anymore until I finished cloning all 15 of them. And it still hurts to talk about. So I, level these bone Rexes, and I try to do the Wyvern King with these 15 bone Rexes, and they get slaughtered. All 15 bone Rexes just get slaughtered. These cost like 900 tech shards a piece. You only make 500 a day. These things cost 2 days a piece. This is like times 15. This is a month of boss work, tech shards to clone these bone Rexes. And they're all dead. But bone dinos turn into broken Pix blocks. And I've still got tech jetpack, and I managed to pick up all 15 broken Pix blocks and break aggro of the boss and sit in the corner. But there was no get free, so I had to sit in the corner for the next hour. it was like an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes. Well, yeah, I mean, there was 10 minutes of me getting slaughtered and another hour and a half left that I had to sit in the corner in fear with these 15 broken bone rexes that I had spent a month cloning. And so I waited and got kicked out of the fight and went and resummoned all my bone rexes and put them in a PixBox container, and I don't even know if I've used them very much since that disappointment. What is my point even here? Okay, yeah, the point is they're coming out with that third map, and y'all have to be caught up with the history. And so, I mean, it's technically my fault. Why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it be? Because I was, happy to give out those Rex eggs with the low mutations that are all mutation locked. Because they have the 90 of 90 and they can't get any better. So, in a way, it's helping, and in a way, it's limiting your progression. But, this did mean that, both people who end up to be good guys and people who end up to be bad guys were able to adapt. And so one day, as the North American servers, most everybody is a bunch of solos who have all beat the game themselves. Either solo or some of them in a small tribe or a tribe before. And since they've all beat the game, they all handle themselves a little better. I say it to other regions that, one North American player is like 5 of y'all's players.